inside. Welcome everyone to our deep dive into Wasteland 2050, The House of Barron. This is a political thriller by Claudia Reid. And we have quite the collection of sources today. We've got excerpts from the book itself detailing this really chilling future, but also private character journals and even some behind-the-scenes plot details straight from the author. So a lot to dig into.
Definitely. Our mission today, it isn't just, retelling the story. We want to unpack the really complex layers here. The control, the rebellion, and those incredibly personal portrayals that drive so much of the narrative. We'll explore the tech, the chilling tech behind it all, and the powerful family at the center, the Barons, and the desperate fight for what the book calls thought sovereignty. It really makes you ask, doesn't it? What does freedom mean when your own mind is the battlefield?
Absolutely. And the architect of this world, Claudia Reid, well, you might know her from Operation Aquasol, Rise of Yale. She's known for really intricate world building. And she's active too. Books on Kindle, Instagram, Substack, plus her own podcast work, Claudia Reid Writes and Claudia Reid Reactions. So she gives us a lot of context for her own universe, which is great for us.
Okay, let's paint the picture. The year is 2050, what we knew as Queens, New York. It's now just Sector 13. Think Wasteland. Dirt, decaying buildings they call shoebox homes. And the sky. It's described as quiet, too quiet. But sometimes the wind carries these whispers, voices that didn't belong to anyone. Right away you get this sense of pervasive, unseen control. Something's in the air.
Yeah, and those voices tie directly to this entity, Neshai Incorporation. Now publicly, Neshai is this global solar energy company.
Yeah.
Bringing light, power.
It sounds good.
Right.
Sounds great. But the sources call it the dark god of control. That's quite a label. It was created by these two figures, Sunshi, described as a Chinese AI technocrat, and Nesh Patel Singh, an Indian quantum engineer and biopolitical architect. They didn't just partner up, they merged India and China under Neshai, a whole new power block.
Wow. And how do they exert this control? It's not just soldiers on the street, is it?
No, much subtler, and maybe more terrifying. Neshai feeds data into the airwaves. It infiltrates people's nervous systems through smart electrics built into every single shoebox home.
Smart electrics. So the house itself is weaponized.
Essentially, yes. And the key is something called the piercing protocol. These solar hubs have brainwave signal inhibitors. They transmit thought control frequencies whenever someone shows social disobedience.
So if you just think the wrong thing.
A piercing sound floods your brain. Just yours. If you keep thinking it, it gets unbearable. The sources state, suicide as the silent mandate. It's horrifying. It makes thought itself a crime. What happens when rebellion has to start inside your own skull?
Yeah, truly chilling. So these shoebox homes, they're not homes, they're cells.
Digital cells, exactly. Monitored constantly by EcoGrid AI, smart lights, smart water, and these smart electric fields that pump mood stabilizers into the air. Total environmental control.
And it gets worse.
Oh yeah. If conversations, just talking in your home, touch on things like resistance or history or rebellion, the house emits an ultrasonic mind blade.
A mind blade, what does that do?
Causes hallucinations, vomiting, seizures, complete emotional breakdown. Try planning a revolution when your living room actively attacks you.
Unbelievable.
And add to that signal conditioning. Neshai satellites are constantly beaming suggestions into people's minds, making them think they came up with an idea themselves, but really, it was fed right into their heads. Autonomy is just erased.
Okay, so that's the tech, the infrastructure of control. But who's running the show? How did they get this power?
That brings us to the New World Order, the NWO. It formed in 2031. This happened after something called the Seal Party. Sounds pretty authoritarian, overthrew the Democrats and Republicans.
A one-party state.
Exactly. And the Barron family runs everything, globally. Elections are just televised spectacles like gladiator matches. And the Constitution, gone, replaced by the Global Order Charter. Their rule is absolute.
And the man at the top is President William J. Barron. What's his deal?
42 years old, described as cold, calculating, bisexual. He's the son of President William Sr., who apparently ruled for almost 50 years, from 2001 to 2049. They call him immortal.
Wow, a dynasty already.
A powerful one. And William J. has a dark past hinted at. Rumors say he eliminated his own mother, Layla Barron, when she questioned his path.
Eliminated his mother. Okay, so he's ruthless.
To put it mildly, he seems willing to do anything to secure power, even against family.
And the personal drama doesn't stop there, right? His love life is Complicated.
Extremely. He's secretly involved with his chief of staff, Prince Frederick Sutterhouse.
Son of the King of England.
The very same. Their relationship is intense, but it's also about leverage. Passionate moments recorded for power, the sources say.
Using intimacy as a weapon.
And get this. William plans to assassinate Frederick's brother, Prince Leland, to make Frederick the King of England. The goal is to forge this US-UK super bloodline. It's dynastic ambition on a global scale, fueled by this very twisted relationship.
Okay, this is like a political thriller mixed with a soap opera from hell. And the First Lady, Lucienne Sunshi.
Right. She's the daughter of Neshai co-founder J. Poo Sunshi. So a powerful connection there. Publicly, she's the devoted wife, but secretly, she's in love with Prince Leland Sutterhouse.
With Trick's brother. The one William wants dead.
The very same one. Talk about complicated. And she's pregnant, carrying the heir to the Baron Sunshi global dynasty.
Oh boy. That baby is going to be caught in the middle of everything.
Absolutely. That child becomes a huge focus, a symbol, a target. Everything revolves around it.
So, okay. Absolute control, Neshai tech everywhere, this incredibly messy, dangerous family at the top. What about the ordinary people? Is anyone fighting back?
There is. And that brings us to Gia Barron. She feels that piercing signal regularly, even though 5 years ago she literally carved the thought inhibitor node out of her own skin. It was fused there at birth.
Wow, that takes guts.
Definitely sets her apart. She's called the blood they tried to erase. And she remembers her grandmother, Layla, that connection to the past the regime wants buried.
So she's fighting back personally.
And publicly, her vow. My name is Jaya Barron. I am the blood they tried to erase. And I remember. She stares down surveillance drones. She's defiance personified.
And there's more to her story.
Much more. It turns out Jaya is the leader of the rebellion, the Silent Son.
The leader. But who is she?
She's President Barron's bastard niece, hidden away at birth, raised in exile, direct lineage to the power she's trying to destroy.
No way. That's a huge twist.
And it connects to this prophecy. The prophecy scroll of the Dusk Prophet, found under Layla's old sanctuary. It says, basically, when minds are silenced, the true blood will rise from ash. A daughter not claimed shall awaken the sun to scream. A child of lies will birth the final war.
So the rebellion sees her as destined.
They do. There's this ritual, an underground baptism, in the ruins of the Bronx Zoo. That's their HQ, called the Furnace. The Dusk Prophet baptizes Gia as Flameborn, recognizes her as the one from the erased line who tasted the signal and did not break. Powerful stuff.
So the Silent Sun isn't just Gia, it's organized.
Very organized. Their mission is clear. Kill President William Barron, sabotage the Neshai satellite core, which is hidden under the Himalayas, by the way.
Under the Himalayas.
Read the airwaves, restore thought sovereignty. That's the goal.
How do they operate from this furnace place?
That's HQ, yeah. But they have other bases, flares, they call them. The Throat in old subway lines for intel and weapons tech. Cradle Ash for infiltration ops. And the Halo Vault, which holds prophecies, Layla's old audio recordings, and this thing called the Prophet's Tombstone that supposedly lights up for true rebel blood.
They sound well equipped too. Weapons. Key people.
Key members include Commander Thorne, who has a half-synthetic face,